Hello everyone, welcome back to 3D Print Lab. Today we're going to be printing a video game model, and we're going to be printing the Nod Conyard. Phase 1, which is the location, and we're going to go find the Nod Conyard. The only 3D model available is from the Command & Conquer 3 universe. And phase 2 is extraction. So the first thing we're going to do is go into CnC extractor, and we're going to open the stream that the files are in. I believe it's the static stream, and we're going to export out the model that we need. And we're going to bring it into 3ds Max 2009 during coordination, and we're going to import the W3X format. Now that we have it, I'm going to change the color real quick. I'm going to start analyzing what the issues are. Definitely those two side panels are too thin and will never print. There's a bit of overhang on top that'll have to be accounted for, but actually the angle isn't too bad, so it shouldn't be that much of an issue. The first thing we're going to really deal with is this bottom. So we're going to make a render of it, bring it into Photoshop, make a nice solid piece. Then we're going to bring it into Illustrator, and we're going to live trace it. Now that it's live traced, we're going to expand it, ungroup it, delete the extra. And I tried simplifying it, but that's not going to do anything good. So I'm going to save it off as an Illustrator 3 file and bring it into 3ds Max. Once we have it in 3ds Max, I'm going to rotate it to the right rotation and also extrude it. And one thing that we forgot to do that hasn't been done yet is we need to mirror it. So I was trying to scale it, it wasn't scaling, it wasn't fitting, and so I just had to end up mirroring it, and it fit perfectly. I just scaled it a bit and moved it. So that's pretty much it for the bottom, although we are still going to need to cut some stuff off. I attempted to just cut it off with cutting off the polys. That's not going to work. You're going to actually have to cut it off with a box. It's just not even. So we did make a box, and we booleaned off the bottom of the Conyard. I have to get it to work. I would have to say that if you were going to print this full color, I just don't know how you would do it, because you'd have to somehow fix the mesh without screwing up the UVW mapping. I just don't know. Perhaps if I do end up getting a full color printer in the future, that'll be an interesting thing to try and deal with. And we added a shell in 3ds Max to it, and adding the shell, you need to make sure that you add an inner and an outer shell, because otherwise it doesn't work. It'll have a bunch of holes in it. I spent an extra 4 hours figuring out that you have to add an inner and an outer shell, because I was just doing an inner shell, or I was just doing an outer shell, and it was just totally screwing up the whole model. So we're in Mesh Mixer now, and we're adding support, and we're just making a nice tree system that'll adequately support it, and just trying to be minimal. Really, when it comes to support, you want something that's going to be easy to remove and not going to interfere with the geometry. So now we're in MakerWare, and you can see how it's going to print off here. All the supports will be supporting everything you need to support. Should work pretty well. Phase 5 is production. Now, it took 3 hours and 8 minutes. It took 38 grams of PLA. And it came out pretty good. It made a lot of noise while it was printing. But it was alright. Actually, I thought it was going to be a much more difficult model than it was. And there was a point where I was about to give up on it, but came out fine. We're going to go to de-rigging. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just slide our little spatula underneath all the raft. Easiest if you kind of just put the tip of the spatula in there and wiggle it back and forth to really remove, or to really loosen that raft off. Now we're just going to take some tweezers and snap off our support. And really the support came off all in one chunk. I was just trying to clean up, there's some little strings in the back from where the overhang didn't come out too well. But yeah, you can see that whole support piece just all came off in one piece. Not really that much support needed. And here it is. They're a little dark, but I kind of thought, you know, it's Nod, so they're kind of moody. So I figured I'd leave it. It's not a mistake, but there's always the next print. There's the bottom. Anyway, thanks for watching. This has been the Nod Conyard, copyright 2009 EA. I don't think I'm going to be doing the annotations from here on, so I'll see you next time.